So how do they achieve this? Well, as it turns out, the WEF doesn't have any power. They don't have any real power. They're influencers. Younger people in the audience know what that is. Oh, you guys know what influencers are, though, grown-ups at this point. But they're not using selfies, and they're not using dank memes, and they're not using thirst traps online to influence. They're using lavish parties in vacation destinations in beautiful parts of the world and cajoling people with celebrities and world leaders to talk about climate change. So, by the way, if you want to go to one of these things, good luck getting there without a private plane. I'm just telling you. If you want to go, that's the best way. So how do they achieve their power? They've got 3 ways of doing it. These are big. 3 things they're going to do to achieve power. First thing they do is to the elite, they appeal to their ego. You're saving the world. And of course, you'll be very powerful when you do save it. And all the powerful people are already in on it, and you don't want to get left behind. This is working. Countries like the Netherlands and Sri Lanka have kind of fallen for it, and their countries are in disarray right now. And they've largely embraced that Davos vision. Second thing they do, this targets the middle class. They suppress the middle class with stifling taxation and socialism. They make it harder to traverse from class to class. They make it more difficult to stay in the middle class if you're already there, because the tax burden falls so heavily on the middle classes in what we refer to as Western capitalist societies. Though I would say we're kind of inching towards socialism here. If you start thinking about how 75% of medical expenditures are now done by the government. I don't know what your guys' tax rate looks like, but mine is astronomical. It's kind of higher than it is in socialist countries. And if that's the case, we're kind of we're creeping towards that socialism right now. This keeps the middle class distracted and unable to compete on the global idea stage. Third, they distract the poor. And they distract the poor with bread and circuses. You've heard that expression. Addictive screens, tech, and then you buy off the rest of them by printing money. So you try to keep them stuck on their phone, scrolling, emoji, barf emoji, heart, like not doing anything productive, not reading a book, not writing a book, not starting a business, not trying to get that job and working those extra hours so you have the capital to start your business. No, your phone's good enough, your meal delivery is good enough, and if it's not good enough, we'll cut you a little check. We'll give you a bag of cash every so often. That's how they do it. That's how they don't have any opposition. If the last portion seems far-fetched about printing money, buying them off with money, what happened during the pandemic? A lot of Netflix and chill, right? A lot of Netflix and chill going on. And then the bag of cash, where you just look down your bank account if you're not in the middle or upper class, and you've got a pile of money there. And this wasn't just the United States that did it, it was all over the world that did that. Handing it out to people, really giving their own money back to them in some cases. And you were told you're not allowed to work. You're not allowed to advance yourself. You actually have to stay home while the people in Davos can congregate via Zoom or by a secret meeting or in one of their gated communities. The normal people were told to stand down and stand back. All of these policies, of course, are wildly inflationary. And where do we find ourselves now? Historic inflation. And what does the inflation do? It suppresses the growth of the lower middle classes the most. They get hit the hardest, as always. And this is part of the plan, and it's already happening. It's in motion.